Hi guys, it's Chris at Cork and Crown, back in my cider shed with some more cider to try. And it's a French cider, another one. This time from Brittany rather than Normandy. So we had a Domfront Poiré, Perry, from Normandy. We had a Pédoge from Normandy, Manoir de Grandouet. And now we're going to have something from Brittany, Bretagne. And it is Cidre Artisanal de Bretagne, Brut. This is a bigger producer, and this is 4.5%, so it falls in the demi-sec category. Slightly bigger producer called Cidre Sorre, which you may have seen around. You may have seen quite fancy bottles, quite stylised labels, quite simple stylised labels. This is from their traditional range. They've been making stuff for like 70 years. I think it's their 70th anniversary. I think 1952. They began. It has your little, is it an IGP or a PDO or whatever that is in there? I can't remember. Anyway, and it says 100% juice of Brittany apples goes into this. So they're up sort of Dinan, Saint Malo way, which is like the northeast part of Brittany. And you get the ones I've had which are much more, seem to be the most tannic and actually less sweet, tend to be the ones from like southwest, from around Quimper, so Cornwall, in fact. Cornwall. Yeah, you heard me right. Cornwall. There's a place in Brittany called Cornwall. I don't know whether we got Cornwall from them or they got it from us, but it's called Cornwall, and they make cider there. Nice cider. So yeah, slightly bigger producer, 4.5%. Let's open it and try it. But this one says Brut. It's 4.5%, but it says Brut. I get confused. I'm not sure. I think it's actually to do with the sugar content, not the ABV. But the ABV obviously relates to it in many ways because how much sugar you ferment determines how sweet it is and how much alcohol you have. Anyway, let's open this sucker up. Put my glass there. Pop. Smoking gun, of course. Don't know if this is... I assume it's bottle conditioned. I assume it is. I mean, judging by this mousse, which you can't see, because I'm being an idiot. Just poured it all over my hand on the table. But there you go. Lovely fine mousse. Lovely fine bubbles. Hazy. I assume if it's traditional, etc., it's going to be like the Normandy stuff. Whereby it's unpasteurised. Is it unpasteurised? Not sure. Certainly unfiltered. Probably bottle conditioned. I should find out about these things, shouldn't I? Before I make these films. Yes, you should, Chris. Jesus Christ, it's a bit slack. You alright? Make your own bloody films. There you go. Look at that. Nice looking thing. More golden. It's got a hint of amber, but more golden than, say, the Pédoge cider we had in the last film. Let's give it a sniff. Much more subtle nose than the Pédoge we had from Manoir de Grandouet. But hints though, I think there's a hint of minerality about it. Just a hint more minerality about it. But there is in the background, there is that kind of like, again, baked apple character, you know, butter, brown sugar, sauteed baked apple. That's what it smells like. But there's just a hint of minerality about it. And also, something else. I want to go sort of vegetal rather than fruit, but not in a bad way. I like the nose. It's nice. I think it's that mineral quality. There seems to be a mineral quality on the nose, which I didn't get from the Normandy stuff, which I like a lot. Anyway, let's try it. I mean, it says brew, dry, but it's not. It has got sugar. Actually, really nice sugar. Really nice sugar. There's almost a banana element to this, I want to say. I'm thinking banoffee pie possibly. Who doesn't love that? I love it. Tiny bit more astringency, and I do notice that with the Brittany ciders. They do get a little bit more astringency. I don't know whether it's to do with the terroir or the varietals that they're using, but it's definitely there. But this is a Kieve cider, as was the Normandy, as is the Normandy cider, Pédoge. So Kieving, if you don't know, I mean, you're watching this, you probably do know. So tough, but some people might not know. Very old process. Don't know how they came up with it, but basically, you it's a fining process. There's pectin in there, there's salts in there, They form a gel. As it begins to ferment, the gel rises to the surface and takes out yeast and proteins with it as it goes. Right, nutrients for the yeast. It forms a chapeau brun, brown cap. Take the juice from underneath with less yeast and less nutrients in it, and then ferment it. But the yeast can't finish the fermentation because you've taken out lots of yeast and lots of nutrients for the yeast. Therefore, it stalls fermentation, and you get residual sugar left over in the cider. That's key thing. So there you go. I have to say, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Yeah, there's a hint of banana. There's a hint of banoffee pie about it. There's a baked apple. There is minerality, absolutely. No hard tongue on the back. Definite acidity on the front. I have to say, I can't remember what I paid for this. It wasn't very much at all. But that's actually really good. I mean, the minerality, the mid palate, it's a little light perhaps, but I mean, it's delicious. It's really nice. I really like it. I really like it. It's really good. It's not as sweet. It might be as sweet as the Pédos we had, but it's balanced with more astringency, more minerality. It's a good cider. It is a good cider. There you go. Distributed by Cidre Fournier, 61320 La Lacelle, France, and made by Cidre Sorre, just outside of Dinan/Saint Malo. There you go, guys. We like it a lot. Well, thank you for joining me back in my cider shed. I'm going to be back with more cider to try, French and English, and some perry as well. So come back and join me. But until that time, cheers.